if you're a Pisces born February 19th to March 20th, what can you expect for the month of August 2018? Let's tune in and find out. So Pisces, there's so much creative energy flowing through you. It may be hard to get it nailed down. It may be hard to see it or to justify the expense or the actions, because you may have a difficult time formulating your ideas into something concrete this month that gets other people excited about it, or to get other people to go really believe in you. So the best thing that you can do with all these different ideas is just keep letting the ideas flow. Like just don't spend so much time trying to flush each idea. Let all the ideas come it through, right? Just let each one. So at the end of the month, you could have 30 different ideas and each one not completed. Don't worry about it, because I feel like the universe is just trying to bombard you with all these different things. And it may feel a little chaotic or a little bit like, oh, that's wrong. But my feeling is if you take one idea and try to force it, it's just, my head wants to explode, because all this other information is coming through about all these other things. So you got to be where you are. Just the universe is downloading with you with so much information, so many different positive ideas, so many different partnerships. Don't get overwhelmed. Your job right now is like you've just walked into God's cafeteria and you're seeing everything that's available to you. It's like, wow, I could do that, and I could do that, and I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do that, and oh, I could partner with this person, or I could, or the four of us could do that, or we could do this, or I could move there, or I could go that, or it's just, my head. So if you try to make a decision with all this stuff coming in, it's going to be really difficult, and you're going to feel like, I didn't make the right choice. If you try to force something now, you're just gonna, this is why everybody gets a stomachache at because they go back for seconds, they go back for thirds. Oh, now I want that, now I want this, right? And they end up just feeling, a slug and can't move. So the point being, Pisces, you're gonna get downloaded with tons of information, tons of opportunities, tons of what if, what it's possible. And your whole idea is to not make a decision on any of them right now, but just to go through the process, okay? Write them all down and just flush them out next month. All right, so now let's move on to romantic relationships. So for those of you that are in a committed romantic relationship, what is available for you this month? So let's check in on that. So I really feel like you're in this state of bliss, or want to be in the state of bliss, want to be in a state of love. And it feels like, your partner's not cooperating. I just have all this love to give. And they're like, eh. So what is that about, right? It's never about the other person. It's always about us. So I feel that you really just want to love them, and you're feeling rebuked or rejected, or that they're just not in the mood. And what there is to do is to honor where they're at, right? So if you stop pushing and stop resisting where your partner is and just love them where they're at, they're going to feel it, and they're going to feel, and your patience, and they'll be able to melt, and you'll be able to connect. So the whole point is just wherever your partner's at, let them be there, love them where they're at, don't push them, and take care of yourself, right? So if you take care of yourself, then you're not going to be upset, you're not going to be angry, you're not going to feel like you're the martyr, you're not going to feel like a victim, because you're taking care of you. But keep the communication open so they know what's going on. And if you can do this, then your relationship is really you're gonna have a great month. Otherwise, a lot of these eclipses and things that are happening are stirring up relationship issues and are really kind of putting a lot of people on emotional edge. And especially if you're extra sensitive, like a Pisces, then you can take it a little personal when it's not meant to be personal. So the way to avoid that is just love your partner where they're at. Don't make it mean about you. Take care of yourself. And in doing so, you're going to see that the relationship is really you're going to really feel the love, and you're really going to receive the love. And it's going to be a really great month for you if you can just hold yourself to those couple of things. Okay, so let's move on to those of you who are interested in having a romantic relationship and don't yet. Okay, so Pisces, let's check in for you on that. So there may be, Pisces, somebody who comes from your past into your life this month, and it may be for closure. It may be because they want more from you. It could cause some problems if you're in a relationship already with somebody else. So don't take the bait, right? Just don't even take the bait. Don't answer the call. Don't answer the text. Don't answer the email. Just delete, delete, delete. Unless you're not happy with where you're at, right? And only you know that. But otherwise, I see this triangular situation happening and the whole thing gets blown up. So just be aware of kind of the fire that's happening around you, and you don't want to get caught in the fire if you can avoid it. There's also, with some of these eclipses, what it's doing too is pushing secrets out. So if you do end up secretly connecting with somebody from the past, it's going to get out. So I wouldn't recommend it, right? I know you don't think you're going to get caught, but believe me, as my mother-in-law says, liars have short legs. Whatever that means. I guess it means they can't run, so they're going to get caught. Anyway, the bottom line is don't get caught. Not a good reason to not lie, but for those that are prone to it, I guess it helps. Anyway, so the other thing is there could also be a romance coming in from the past. There is also at the end of the month a really bright light. So for me, that always means without problems, without restrictions, two minds who are on the same path. So whatever, it can be too that it could be that person from the past that you meet that, that you're now finally on the same page and that works out, or it could be somebody completely different coming in at the end of the month. There is a word of caution though, if you meet somebody brand new during a retrograde, generally those are what we call of the moment relationships, or what I call of the moment relationships, meaning right now's a moment, we're having some fun, and there's not likely to be much behind it. In other words, we're not likely to stay together for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, right? It's usually, very fast and furious kind of relationship. So just be aware if you meet somebody during the retrograde, not likely to stay, so just realize what it is. It's just an of the moment relationship. The other thing that can happen is when a retrograde goes forward, information can appear now that you weren't able to see. This is why we always talk about never buying any big ticket items during the Mercury retrograde. Don't buy a car, don't buy, electronics, because what it can happen is if you go and buy a car, right, then when the retrograde goes forward, suddenly now all this new information appears that was hidden from you prior to the retrograde. It's a great time to sell things. So if you want to sell a house, you want to sell a car, you want to sell artwork, you want to sell anything like that, sell it now, because people who don't realize what they're doing will buy things, right? And they'll pay good money for it. And then they're the ones who will have buyer's remorse, and you've gotten rid of something that maybe was a little flawed, but people are overlooking it because the Mercury actually protects it and keeps it hidden. So it does keep things hidden, and then it will come to light like August 20th. That hidden dog that I have here that you just heard. Okay, so now let's move into money and career for Pisces. Let's see what's going on with that. So we just talked about a lot of opportunities coming your way. There may be some chaos or confusion that you have to deal with at work. Write it out. Don't make it mean anything. Let everybody else around you kind of go up and down, and you just stay the course. Just don't be quick to react to a lot of this hubbub that's happening. I don't think that I think things will unplug and calm down. So whatever the new hype is, or everybody's up in arms about it, it's likely to kind of like come down a notch or two, and then you'll really see what's going to stick, and you'll really see which direction things are going to go. So I would just know that this month there may be a lot of overreactions. It could even be overreactions in the market, like a bigger thing, overreactions in the money markets, overreaction, in world events. And but it feels like at the end of the day, it ends up like fizzling out. So the same with work, the same with the world. It feels like, oh my gosh, and then fizzles out. So same thing. Don't give a lot of energy to those things. The opportunities, if you stay low and to the ground, you'll feel your way through it, and you'll know which is the real opportunity and which is bullshit, and which is just kind of pie in the sky. It's never going to get off the ground. It's a good idea, but they're never going to back it. They're never going to bring the money. Whatever it is, it's just not going to happen. So just really, really just, and if you've been dealing with a situation like that, wash your hands of it. Walk away and just say, you know what, catch up with me when you have the money, or catch up with me when you're ready to sign the deal, or when you're ready to be serious, right? And just, it's not saying no, it's just saying, I'm going to work on something that's a little more real. Anything else about your money and career? Let's see about the money. So there's opportunity. It's coming up around money, emotional stress, or mental stress, right? Being mentally stressed, or having mental constructs about money, or ideas about money, ideas about your value and how much money you should be earning, or can you even earn this? And you want to make sure that this month, right, that you're being practical. You're really being asked to be practical. So what that means is if you're somebody who isn't working right now and you've got an idea for $100 million, company, the idea of your being able to actually get that off the ground, because there's a lack or a disconnect if you're not even working and you've got this big belief, it has to be believable, right? So for you, not for anybody else, but for you. So what the universe is saying is like have a day job. Have something you can sink your teeth into, that you can actually be grounded with. So it's great to have big ideas. It's great, and they can happen, and that's how we manifest. But simultaneously, you have to be having something that you're physically doing that grounds you. So I don't care if it's, driving Uber, or waiting tables, or answering phones, or doing online services for somebody, right? It is something that is earning you money that you're doing every day. And by doing that, it's gonna help you assimilate your mind. So all these ideas that are coming in will become a little bit more orderly. Now that you're grounded, it will be easier to see the bullshit from the ones that will actually work out. And then you'll have a much easier time as to which idea to follow and what is the good idea, right? And which one can really manifest in the true direction that you want to go. So you guys are in this big creative phase about where you're going next, what you're going to do, your big career move, where the big money's going to be. That's amazing. And at the same time, the universe is saying is have a day job, have something that you are doing every single day to have money coming in. And that's going to, because the whole point of that is to ground you. And when you're grounded, what's that mean? You're present. You're making things happen in the physical world. You're manifesting. You're not just in the pie in the sky, daydreaming. And what will happen then is you are meeting these two worlds, the physical and the spiritual, so that you can actually be productive and you can actually bring in what is yours. You can actually manifest those great big ideas. So if you don't have a job, just get a job. This is not about what your job does not define you, right? So driving Uber, I live in LA, right? I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in a Uber car, just a regular car, and there's been some celebrity behind the wheel. It's somebody you can turn on the TV and see it every week, right? And they're like, yeah, I've got a few hours of my time. Why not? I'm meeting people and I'm putting some money in the bank and I've got a wife and a little kid. And yeah, so I was like, cool, right? Normal people doing, and so for me, it's like that's what the universe is saying for Pisces right now, that you need to be doing. Just be making money. Don't worry that it's not your career. The universe is helping you figure out your career, but it's giving your body something to do so that you're not all flustered and you're flying all over the place, okay? Sorry to spend so much time on that, but it seems really, really important. Okay, so let's go to the health for Pisces. I feel like you guys are good. I feel like you just really need to listen to your body and honor your body, whatever it needs. And I feel like you're good. And I feel like, if some of you are sick, I do feel like there's some new information that's coming in for you that's going to help. I wouldn't have, if you can avoid surgeries, I wouldn't have a surgery, around an eclipse. I would, or a retrograde, I would wait if possible to the end of the month. And sometimes you have emergencies and you can't, in which case you just double and triple check everything, right? And trust that it's all perfect. So, but I feel like you guys are in a good place with your health, and you're getting the help that you need for it. All right, let's look at the surprises for Pisces. Wow, yeah. I feel like the surprise is just that how fast your life can change, like in a really good way, just like I feel like you turn the key and boom, and I don't mean blown up in a bad way. I mean like beautiful, like wow, you put the key in and suddenly wow, you've got this great job and you're off and running. So I just feel like this month there's these big changes that can just happen like that. You can get that job, you can get that move, you can get that career change happening, but it's just very simple, and it's just like a turning the key. So, and that's a surprise, and that's what I think the big surprise is, how fast it happens. All right, Pisces, you have an amazing month in store for you. So much energy, so many ideas, so much success. It's like I just feel like I stepped into a garden that's blossoming. It's really cool. So enjoy yourself, having an amazing month. I look forward to connecting with you again next month. If you like my intuitive astrology, please click like, share it with your friends, comment below, and I'll see you again next month.